Luke Byrne of Shelbourne. I think the easiest and best place to start in terms of timing, of course, is the Cup quarter-final win over Bohemians. Damien Duff afterwards described it as the perfect game. As a team, what clicked for you on the day?
I think, individually everybody played to a really high level. Collectively we carried out the game plan. We changed our style a little bit for the game on Sunday, and all the lads adapted well to it. They understood their roles, and the manager and the staff, they got it spot on. They asked us to play a certain way, like I said, and look, we were convincing winners. Could have been more than three, I think, on the day.
Yeah, because coming into the game, form had been a little bit difficult in terms of picking up points, but also goals. And then obviously you've answered all that in that game. Do you think the rescheduling of a lot of those games that you'd had previously, where you had a long gap between matches, do you feel that factored into just losing the rhythm that you had before?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see it as an excuse, but it doesn't help. I think, even I was talking to some of the lads there earlier that are here from other clubs, and no one enjoys that kind of, 2 weeks without a game, and then Friday, Monday, and then 2 weeks without a game. I know it's difficult enough with the international weeks and the cup weeks, but as a player, it's not what you want. You'd rather just play games all the time, to be honest. You would we had the game Sunday. We have a game tomorrow, and that's what players want.
Yeah, and beating Bohemians as you did at Tolka Park, and I think the importance of winning it there as well, because at the start of the season it took a little while. You were picking up points on the road, and then winning at home was a little bit difficult until May, and I think it was very coincidental as well. It was the week that the Save Tolka Park campaign, you had the best news on that front. Was that a coincidence, or was there something that factored in there that gave you a bit of a buzz, because your home form since then has really picked up?
Yeah, we were all, as players, aware of the news that week. I think it added to the atmosphere in the stadium. The fans were obviously, really happy. All their hard work had paid off, and as players, I felt like I think we knew that there was an extra responsibility on us that week to finally pick up that first win. Because look, it's football is a great way of making memories, and it was a great feeling that night when we won the game, and everyone went home very, very happy, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and as a newly promoted club, what was the target this year, especially with a lot of turnover? I think it was something like 15 new players had come in, and obviously a new manager who's in his first job as a full-time manager.
Yeah, the goal, naturally the club has been a yo-yo club a little bit the last few years, and that had to stop. So we knew that we couldn't be in a position at the end of the season where we were in a relegation playoff or relegated automatically. So that was the first goal. We always had ambitions to go deep into the cup. The manager felt very strongly that we were capable of it, and as the season's gone on, young players have developed. I think the team has grown a lot, improved, and we've picked up some big wins, and that again, knock on, as it creates belief. And I think we're actually a little bit disappointed where we are in the league, to be honest. We would like to be a little bit higher, have more points on the board anyway.
Yeah, and obviously Damien Duff, one of the biggest names in Irish football history. I mean, how excited were you when you heard the news that he was coming in?
Very. I was lucky enough to know him going back a few years. I played with him at Rovers, was his under-15s coach at Rovers, and then his assistant at the 17s in Shelbourne for the last couple of years. So I'd seen how he worked. I knew how he wanted to play, how he trained, his passion for the game, and I was always I always wanted to play under him rather than just working alongside him. And luckily I've had the chance now, and I feel like I'm having probably my best ever season, and I have a lot to thank him for in that sense.
Joey O'Brien obviously coming in also as another experienced voice on the coaching staff. What's the dynamic like in terms of, because there's always a stereotype of how a manager operates, how the assistant, and the relationship then between the players, but what's their dynamic like?
Difficult to say what that dynamic is like, probably because a little bit like you touched on, there's a stereotype, whether it's good cop, bad cop or whatever, and theirs isn't like that. What I feel is really good about them is they always give the same message. They see the game the same way. If I've seen something in the game and I go to the manager or Joey, it doesn't matter, I'm going to get the same information back, which is brilliant. It creates a consistency, and it means we all, it helps us all know our roles. And look, the two of them, along with the other members of the staff, to be honest, they've all actually played at the highest level, played for their country, and naturally going to those kind of heights in the game. They've seen stuff, learned stuff, and they, are passing that on to us as players. So it's a great environment to be in as a player.
And how have you found that experience of switching between playing in the back four to being at the heart of the back three?
Again, played a little bit of that Rovers, not too much. Never in the middle, to be honest. Usually on the sides. We, under the manager, we played that with the 17. So obviously I wasn't playing it, but we were coaching it, so I had to learn it quickly. But yeah, playing it is a lot different. I think it suits my game. I'm two-footed, so I can, play to both sides of the pitch fairly kind of evenly. I like to, try and read the game, try to anticipate things happening, and I just like the picture I see in front of me playing that formation, and I think it suits the players that he's recruited. And yeah, personally, I love playing it.
And you've got a massive cup semi-final coming up against Waterford, also the run-in as well. You said you weren't too happy where you are on the table, so in terms of targets of trying to get to Europe or whatever, that's not really there, and you're very much safe as well. So these upcoming games, you've got a huge one against Shamrock Rovers coming up. It's all about momentum, I would imagine, in terms of just making sure you're really set for this semi-final and potentially what follows after.
Yeah, spot on. Fourth is, it's not attainable now, and we need to make sure we stay ahead of Drogheda. We want to try and catch Bows and Sligo, but of course the big one now is the semi-final. But we have 4 league games, I think, between now and then, so we know we can't take our foot off the gas and expect us to flick the switch on the 16th of October. It won't work like that. So again, like I would have said previously, I think the manager demands high standards every day, every game, and he treats everybody with the same respect, and as players we have to do the same.
Yeah, and obviously you're going to be taking things one game at a time. You're not going to be looking too far ahead. But is there a little part here, like just listen to Damien Duff just after the quarter-final, he was talking about it. If he were to win the cup, it would be the pinnacle. Do you allow yourself to dare to dream a little bit, thinking maybe just about that, or visualising at least the yourself kind of lifting that trophy for Shelbourne?
Of course, yeah, I visualised it, yeah. Even before the quarter-final, I visualised it, helped motivate me for Sunday. It would be, the best day of my life, the biggest achievement of my life. Couldn't imagine anything better, So, of course, I'm going to dream about it, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it happens. And as a team, that's what we have to do.
Perfect. And best luck with the run-in. Cheers.